Now, you asked me to talk about Sila also. You remember that? Now, Sila comprises of 3 middle factors, right? And I told you that Sila is the abstention from wrongdoing by bodily actions and speech. Now, Sila is the control of bodily actions and speech, and not necessarily of mind. First, you must understand this. The nature of Sila is to control your bodily actions and verbal actions. That means just by having unwholesome thoughts, your Sila is not broken. There are some people who say, even if you kill a living being in your mind, you are breaking the precept. But that is not true. Because Sila concerns with bodily action and verbal action. Only when you kill a being yourself, or you ask another person to kill that living being, do you break that precept. You may have desire, or you may want to kill a living being, but so long as you do not kill it, so long as you do not have another person kill it, you are not breaking the rule. You are not breaking the precept. Although your Sila may be not ideally pure, because your mind is now contaminated with hate. But although there is hate in your mind, although you want to kill a living being, so long as you do not do it bodily or by asking other people, your Sila is still intact. You have not broken that precept. So that you must understand. And so, only the abstention from wrong bodily actions and wrong verbal actions can be Sila. So, there are the karma that are done in mind only, and those cannot be Sila. Although they may be called wrongdoings, they are wrongdoings in your mind, and so they cannot be Sila. In your prayer book, I found abstention of all 10. I think there should be abstention of the first 7 only. You say, I vow to abstain from killing living beings and so on. They are all right. But I vow to abstain from covetousness and so on. They are not in the domain of Sila. Although it is good to abstain from covetousness and so on. So they are not to be practiced as Sila. As I said, Sila is very important. Purity of Sila is important, especially for those who practice meditation. Because Sila is a very firm foundation on which we build the structure of Samadhi and Panya. So there are some people who do not emphasize on the purity of Sila, and they may say it's okay to do this or that and so on. But when you are practicing meditation, your Sila should be really pure. Once a person has taken the refuge, he or she becomes a disciple of the Buddha. So in modern terms, we may say he or she becomes a Buddhist. So after taking the refuge, one becomes a disciple of the Buddha. And so one has to keep the moral precepts that are called precepts for devotees, precepts for upasakas. And it is said that a person who has taken refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha and become a disciple of the Buddha should keep 5 precepts. That means every Buddhist is expected to keep these 5 precepts. And you already know these 5 precepts. No? You know the 5 precepts? Abstention from killing, abstention from stealing, abstention from sexual misconduct, abstention from lying, abstention from taking intoxicants, drugs, and so on. So these are the five precepts all Buddhists are expected to keep. And as I said before, only when the first one, killing, only when you kill is precept broken, only when you tell a lie is this precept broken, and so on. Just by thinking in your mind, it does not constitute breaking of these Sila, although your Sila may be not very pure, right? So, and these 5 precepts are not like commandments in Christianity. They are not the commands of Buddha. Buddha taught these based on comparing oneself with others. Once, Buddha went to a place, and Brahmins and many people from that place went to the Buddha. And then they said, "Bhante, we are lay people. Now we enjoy, pleasures, and we enjoy good food, we use the best of the perfumes and so on, we use the best clothes. So we are lay people, and we have families, we have children. And please teach us something so that while being laymen like this, we can gain happiness." And Buddha taught them 7. Buddha taught them 7 precepts. Buddha said, a person who does not want to die, who wants to live. Now, if a person kills another person who wants to live and who does not want to die, that person who is killed will not like it. And if somebody comes to somebody comes to me and kill me, I don't like it. Since I don't like other people to come and kill me, other people will not like when I go to them and kill them. So, considering that or comparing oneself with others, I should abstain from killing and so on. So Buddha's precepts are based on this, comparing oneself with others, not the commandments put down by the Buddha. So in this way, we abstain from killing. I don't want to be killed, right? You don't want to be killed. So if you don't want to be killed, it is fair that you don't kill others. If you don't want to, if you don't want your properties to be stolen, then you should not take other people's property. So in this way, you compare yourself with others and you abstain from stealing and so on. So these 5 precepts are based on comparing oneself with others. And in that way, lay people should keep these 5 precepts. And there are some conditions where one really knows whether a precept is broken or not. For example, killing, right? So, in order to break the precept, then one must know that this is a living being. First, it must be a living being. And then you know that it is a living being. And then you have the intention to kill. And then you make the effort. And the being is killed. So only when these 5 conditions are fulfilled does that rule is broken and you come to you commit the offense of killing and something like that. So when these 5 are not fulfilled, then the akusala karma is not so great. But when these 5 are fulfilled, then it is called the karma has gone the full course of action. To go to the full course of action means to become a real bad karma. So for a Buddhist, it is important that he or she keep these 5 precepts as long as he or she lives. There is a saying in Burmese, you should keep the 5 precepts as you keep your clothes. So we all Buddhists must try to keep these precepts. But sometimes one may be broken. So when you know it is broken, then you take the precepts again. So in that way, you amend the broken precepts. And purity of Sila is again, it is very important. And purity of Sila can give you joy, it gives you happiness. When your Sila is pure, you don't blame yourself. So that is one joy you get. You don't feel remorse. Because you look back your moral conduct and you see it pure, and so you feel joy at it. When you feel joy, you are happy, and when you are happy, your body also becomes comfortable and peaceful, and so you can get samadhi easily. If your Sila is not pure, you cannot get samadhi easily. So this samadhi can lead to the penetrating into the nature of things, and so the importance of the purity of Sila cannot be overemphasized. Some people may say, oh, you are overemphasizing the purity of Sila. But no, because purity of Sila is a very foundation of our practice. And so it should be kept pure as we keep our clothes always. Now there are some people, they want to change here and there. And then they would say, I abstain from killing living beings as much as I can. Something like that. Did you take precepts like that? As best I can or as much as I can? I tell those people, if you take like that, this is not Sila. You have already put conditions there. Conditions for breaking the precept. Because I will do as far as I can. That means I may break it if I want to, right? So I think we should take Sila, and we should not take Sila that way. Whether you break it or not later, but when you take the Sila, it should be just definite, say, I will not, right? I will abstain from killing living beings, like that. So I will abstain from living beings as much as I can. So that is not Sila. But nowadays people want to make Sila seem easy to practice, and so they may modify here and there. And also there are some people who say, saying I abstain from killing and so on is negative. We want positive. So they say, I will be compassionate to all beings, instead of saying, I abstain from killing. But that is not Sila according to our definition. Sila is abstaining from something, abstention from killing, stealing, and so on. You say, I will have compassion for beings, but that is not Sila. That is bhavana, the mental culture. So now some people are doing like that. They want to be positive. What I want to ask them is, if you say abstention from killing living being is negative, then killing living being is positive? Huh? No. Sometimes people are led astray by these words, right? Say this is negative, this is positive. And as we found out, the very positive state of Nibbana is described with negative words. So the words may be negative or positive. We don't need to pay much attention to them. But what we should pay attention to is the reality, whether it is really positive or negative. So sometimes people want to change this and that, and so they change the very nature of Sila. So when you take Sila, be definite and say just, I will refrain from. I take the precept of abstention from killing living beings and stop there, and not say to the best of my ability or something like that. And sometimes you may want to keep more than 5 precepts. How many precepts can you take? Yeah, 5. But sometimes you want to purify yourself more. You want to get more kusala. How many precepts can you take? 8 precepts. So what are the 8 precepts?
Your bed cannot be like
high and luxurious. Yeah. Do you think you will get more kusala when you take 8 precepts? Probably or definitely. Yeah? You will definitely get more kusala, right? Now, if you understand Abhidhamma, there can be akusala when eating. Attachment is akusala, unwholesome mental state. So when we eat, we may eat with attachment. When the food is good, right, we eat with greed. So there is attachment there. But if you don't eat one meal, you avoid attachment for one meal. Yeah? Right? So even when eating, there can be attachment and there can be akusala. Although this akusala may not be very bad, but still it is akusala. So it is better to keep 8 precepts than to keep 5 precepts. But as lay people, you cannot keep 8 precepts always. You have a family, and you have to do business and so on, so you cannot take 8 precepts. But from time to time, you can take 8 precepts, like on holidays. So in Buddhist countries, people take 8 precepts on full moon days and new moon days, and on the 8th of the first half and second half of the month. So 4 times a month they keep 8 precepts and so on. And also lay people can keep 10 precepts if they like, but that is much more difficult. 10 precepts is just 8 precepts plus 1 actually, because the 7th is divided into 2, and so add 1 and you get 10 precepts. They're not handling gold, silver and money. What? 10 precepts? Yeah, but it is very rare that lay people take 10 precepts. It is almost impossible for them. But when I went to Jamaica, I met one layman, a Burmese. He said when other people took 5 precepts, he took 10 precepts. So he said he took 10 precepts every day, because he had his sons and daughters who would take care of everything for him, and so he is like a monk. So he could take 10 precepts. Otherwise it is difficult for lay people to keep 10 precepts. So for lay people, the minimum requirement, moral requirement is 5 precepts. So long as you are pure with regard to 5 precepts, your sila is pure. And when your sila is pure, you can practice meditation anytime. And there is another kind of sila which is called sila with right livelihood as the 8th factor. So in that case, you take the first 3, right? And the 4, that is abstention from lying, slandering, harsh speech, and vain talk. And then abstaining from wrong livelihood. So these 8 also some people take. So when you take these 8 precepts, you can take food in the afternoon. you may like that, huh? But you should be very careful, right? Lying is okay, and slandering, but harsh speech, sometimes you may be angry and you may say something bad, right? And then vain talk. So you keep silent most of the time, not talk much. Then you can keep these precepts.